when you went over there, do you remember what it was like the first time you went to school? Like, did you know English by then, or
Yeah,
was
that's
it like, oh, I got like, what the heck's going on? What are they saying?
we were like really, really poor, like me and my mom. So like
Mm.
it was just me and her, and so it
Hmm.
was really difficult for her, not having papers or even speaking English, to be able to like provide for us. So
Uh huh.
like um me at that age,
Dude,
yeah, they're
yeah,
they're
I
they're
tell you,
they're little
they're
dicks. I wasn't studying, so I had to do something. So I was like, I'm just gonna sell drugs.
damn.
Yeah, that was such a stupid decision.
And then so what happened? Like, how'd you end up here,
All
or
right,
how'd you
so
decide to come down?
the truth is I got deported.
All right, welcome to another episode of En Vivo y en Directo with the Compa Chava. Um, there's we have this is new. I haven't spoken English like hangout terms in a long time. It's all like work related. So might be a lot of ums in
Way
this,
too many.
but we'll take them out. We're two Mexicans that grew up in the states that came back down, and you don't really meet too many people like that. So I thought it'd be cool to have him on the show, and to throw a podcast out for my people out in the U.S. Or my English speaking people. So, bro, again, give us your name and a little bit of background about you, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so my name is Oscar. I grew up in the United States about 17 years since I was 3, and I left when I was 20. Now I'm here, and been really weird. A lot of fun,
Yeah.
but it's just not a very traditional like career path.
Okay. Now, when you went to the states, you were over there. You Where were you over there?
Uh, where I was? Where
Yeah.
was I? I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. So you went. We weren't too far away. I was in Minnesota.
Yeah, the Midwest, just
Yeah.
a lot of corn and just a lot of frío.
Cows and
Yeah, it's
snow. So, what was it like growing up over there? Like, were your parents? Now you don't have to say yes or no to this, right? But like, because I know it's a touchy
uh-huh.
subject for some people, or they may still be over there. But like, were your parents there legally or illegally, or and then they turned legal, or
Uh-huh.
how was that?
All right. Like I feel like part of my story is pretty explicit,
Mm-hmm.
so I think like complete honesty is important because I feel like a lot of people might have gone through similar like things.
Yeah.
But my mom is still over there.
Mm-hmm.
We were we crossed it legally. We never like got our papers or anything like that.
Yeah.
We went there too late for that. And my father, he actually stayed here. Like I just met him once I came back to Mexico.
Okay.
But I met him like once or twice, and it was just like
Cool.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have any connection with him. I mean,
Nah.
you've never. Did you talk to him when you were in the U.S. or no?
Nah. The whole situation between my mother and my father was a little complicated, so like I
Mm-hmm.
was always kind of like restricted from talking to him. So
Okay.
uh, that's it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Uh-huh.
So you were 3 when you went over there, right?
Yeah.
Your parents are from here, from Tepic, or
Yeah, close to Santiago, some place called Villa Juárez,
I
and
know where it's at.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's pa la chingada, no?
Yeah.
And my father, I think he's from Ciudad de Mexico or Mexico City.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he lives here in Nayarit.
yeah, in Tepic, uh-huh.
Okay. Now, your parents, they separated when you were young, I can imagine,
Yeah,
with what you told us,
yeah,
right?
pretty much.
And when you went over there, do you remember what it was like the first time you went to school? Like, did you know English by then, or
Yeah,
was it like, oh, I got like, what the heck's going on? What are they saying?
um, it's crazy because I feel like as a kid, I was always like, I had like a very positive mentality as a kid,
Yeah.
so it was a lot of fun for me. I wasn't usually like the crybaby type when I would go to school for like the first day or anything like that.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't remember how I learned English. I just remember that kindergarten, that's where like they kind of threw me in there,
Uh huh.
like not knowing any English whatsoever. Like I had a lot of friends, which
Mhm.
was really weird. Like I don't remember learning English. I knew Spanish, but it was just like a very seamless transition.
And now that you say that, I'm like that too. Like I can't remember like exactly like when I learned English the first time, because
Yeah,
like we were over there and I went through kindergarten and we moved back down,
okay.
and I did first and half a second grade down here,
That's
and
strange.
then we went back up. But when I went back up, my English was dusty.
It happens.
I
Yeah, it's
kind
the
of
scale.
knew some words and I kind of remember, but like I remember this one specific situation where this one kid he was throwing pebble stones at me, like pebble rocks at me,
Okay.
and I went to snitch on him,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to say he was throwing rocks at me, and I literally like, hey, little boy, and I would show the security guard, and I would he's throwing, and he's like, oh, he's throwing rocks at you. I'm like, yes. And I remember as a little kid, I remember that's something that I'm never gonna forget, bro. Cause like, and people say it's like, what's the best way to learn English? Put
Right.
yourself in there, and,
Yeah, for real.
So,
It's
uh,
it's a lot easier for kids though. They're the plasticity of their mind is just like off the charts
hmm
compared to an adult, that of an adult's.
no, for sure, 100%. Now, were you the only Hispanic kid in your school, or was there like a lot of Hispanic kids there?
I do actually remember that when I got to Milwaukee, it was like I was in the South Side. It was
hmm
predominantly a white community,
Yeah.
but it was right in the time when there was like a lot of influx of Mexicans and Boricuas, and like in the course of like 2 or 5 years,
Uh huh.
the white community just turned into like pretty much Hispanic and Black community.
Dang. So it
Uh-huh.
was quick.
Yeah, it was quick. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I mean that was cool at the same time because there was a huge Hispanic community where I
hmm
was at.
And like, there's a theory that says like, and this didn't apply to me, but that says like people of like different races, like they usually hang out with their own people because like they have the same culture, they speak the same, and they feel in a comfort zone. They hang out with them. Was that your case? Like, did you hang out with the Hispanics,
Uh,
or did you
uh,
nah? I don't care if you're Mexican, white, black, or if you're cool, you're cool.
I was an only child, so like I was bored all the time. So
Mm,
like whoever I could play with, like
I
I
was
was friends
down
with
for that.
everybody. Yeah.
And when you went to like elementary, were you like the class clown, or were you just like the serious kid? Because I know like Hispanic kids, like it's either they're really serious or they're like troublemakers.
Um, no, I was actually very como estudioso.
Okay, so you're more
I
like on
was
the
like I
serious
was a
side.
big ass nerd.
Yeah.
I was a big ass nerd. I was like teacher's pet pretty much.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then that was just throughout your entire K through 12, or did that just like at the beginning?
Um, I like I when whenever I went to like school, like I would always like the first thing is just like open up all the textbooks and just start reading them, like
Mm,
all of it, all of it, all of it,
yeah.
and not even pay attention to the class. Whenever they would like pick on me, I was like, oh, I didn't have the answer ready. So like I think a lot of teachers would always like see that and then they would just
hmm
like leave me alone because I was just like
Reading the.
self-studying. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But it's really crazy because I started like drifting away from school because I was bullied a lot.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Now, like, in what sense were you bullied in? Like, because you didn't
Um,
speak English,
no,
or
actually,
because you were like the nerd?
not even that. We were like really, really poor, like me and my mom. So like
Mm.
it was just me and her, and so it
Mm-hmm.
was really difficult for her, not having papers or even speaking English, to be able to like provide for us. So
Uh huh.
like, um, me at that age,
Dude,
yeah, they're
yeah,
they're
I
they're
tell you,
they're little
they're.
dicks.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure, man.
but it sucks because no one was really there. I never had like a male figure to like really teach me how to stand up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like the bullying just got kind of worse and worse. So like I would just like just skip school.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
So you look, and this was in like middle school
This started in
or
well,
like
this was
elementary.
elementary school. Yeah, kids
What
were
grade do you think?
it became like more prominent like third grade pretty much.
Damn, so like real young, bro.
Yeah, it is so funny because like now I think back on it, and everybody was just as poor as I was, like just trying to like kind of inflate their ego and make themselves
Yeah.
feel better, like so.
And was it like white kids that bullied
Um,
you, or was it like the Mexicans or?
not like how I mentioned, it was like it used to be a white community, and then just a lot of like Mexicans and blacks came in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was pretty much like Mexicans and African Americans.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's that's harsh. So since like so in third grade, you started skipping school because they would bully you, right? And
yeah.
like, did your mom find out about that?
Um, she worked all day, so she really couldn't say or do anything about it.
Mm.
So,
And you kept going to school, like,
yeah, like yeah, entre comillas, yeah.
yeah. So, um, what happened in like middle school?
Middle school, bruh, that was a fun time for me. Like I did so much stupid shit that I shouldn't have done.
Like, so the switch, like the at what point do you think like it switched from like saying, "Oh, school's a pain" to like I'm not having fun in general to like, okay, I
Um,
it was a blast.
like it's not so much that the school was fun. I switched schools. I guess that helped because I made new friends. They were a
Mm-hmm.
lot they were nicer. There's just like nicer people.
Yeah.
But since I was like gradually becoming more used to being on the street and everything, like I'd never gang banged or anything like that.
Okay.
But it was pretty much just like being with my friends, skipping school and doing stupid shit, usually illegal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot of fun, a lot of parties and a lot of alcohol.
Did you ever get caught though?
Yeah, man, I got
You
I
got
got caught for
minors?
something pretty. We trashed the whole factory.
Dang.
Yeah, like I shouldn't be laughing about this, but
What I mean, you already did it. And I mean, if there were any
yeah,
consequences,
yeah.
you already paid them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got off really easy, being a minor and
Mm-hmm.
everything, but it
Like
was
y'all broke into a
it was
factory and
like $40,000 in damage. Like
damn, yeah, you
adjusted for
shouldn't be
inflation.
laughing. You
No,
shouldn't
bro.
be laughing, bro.
Yeah,
So,
man. Um,
damn. And what happened there, man? Tell us about that. Like, do
um,
you remember? Like, were you drunk or were you high?
nah, man, it's just a regular old summer day. Like we were just walking through the train tracks and we saw like this abandoned factory. Like it looked abandoned as shit. I'm still pissed off about one charge. It was like forcing and entering and or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that, like forcing an entrance. And it's like, bro, I can't really force an entrance. There's a big hole, in the
Through the
side of the yeah, it's
yeah,
like, bro, it's pretty much inviting me, it's not
yeah.
even trespassing. Or whatever. So yeah, man, there was forklifts in there.
Mm,
All the forklifts had their
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 keys.
keys. So we just literally
Damn,
like brought down walls and everything. Yeah.
damn, bro, that's bad.
Yeah, I made it on the news. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah, and and like at that moment, your mom did say something.
No, she didn't. Um, she was really worried, actually.
Was she more worried about like immigration finding out
I, she,
rather than what you actually did? Because I know like Hispanic people over there or illegal people are when like they do something illegal, they're more worried about immigration finding out than okay, give me a ticket and I'm on my way. Doesn't matter
yeah,
what it is, just I'm gone.
it's I think like mental health can become like really correlated or related to like this kind of phobia we have towards being deported
Yeah,
because it really limits like the things we can do and we can't do.
for sure.
So I think my mother always like battled with that, but like I never really like took it in.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
So, cause like I remember there were some cases where like I heard people be like, "Oh yeah, we can't do that because we're illegal,"
Yeah.
and it's like, damn, like
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know what to say because like at that point you're like you want to do more, but there's a glass ceiling because
yeah,
like the U.S. the home of the free and but
yeah,
it's
it's
really not like that, you know. And yes, I understand you broke a law entering the U.S. illegally. That's a fact. But I think and we're nobody to discuss about legal immigrations or policies. But
yeah.
maybe what they're doing isn't right because it's not really working. You know?
I mean, there's a Dream Act now. It doesn't cover any new entries, but
Yeah.
it does protect a lot of people, in our age range at least,
Yeah.
if they were there for a sort of amount of time, and so I think that's pretty cool. Um, like from what I know about it is, you can actually put up a business. You can pretty much be a citizen without being a citizen, which is
What I basically what under my understanding is that they can do anything besides leave the U.S. and
yeah,
go back in.
yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, and honestly, like somebody who applies for the Dream Act, they don't want to leave the U.S.
Nah. Nah,
No,
man,
like
you're literally a citizen, can make the same money as any other citizen. And it's like, yeah,
so. I mean that was good. You know when I came down, a few people were like, "Oh, no, don't go down. The Dream Act is around the corner."
mhm,
And for me, it's like if I don't go to school now, I'm never gonna go to school.
okay.
Like I know myself. Like so, I made that call and I moved down, and it's been 11 to 12 years now. So
Dude, congratulations, man, because a lot of people would
thank
be
you.
afraid to like even do that.
Nah, bro. Like when I first moved down here, like I will never forget this. Like my family's from a small town north of Tepic.
Hmm.
It's called Jicote,
Okay.
and I remember I was laying in bed and I had my eyes closed, and like sometimes you have your eyes closed and you can see like a scene in your head of you're like, oh, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
go to this place, and you
Yeah,
can
you're
see
pretty
that
much
place.
daydreaming.
Yeah. So I did that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to this park right now. My friends should be there. And I sit up with my eyes closed and I open my eyes and I look down and I see flat like sandals, like the Mexican sandals, right?
Hmm.
And I see the floor there and I look up and I see out the door and it's in Mexico, and like, bro, like I started crying.
Oh, okay.
I was like, damn, cuz like when I moved down here, my aunt went to pick me up in Vallarta,
Yeah.
and I was in a van, like in one of those cargo vans the entire way here, AC, nice and comfortable. Couldn't see anything outside the windows, and I get to this town. I open the sliding door, and the heat waves hit me in the face. It was March, and March is
Yeah,
dry
man.
here,
Yeah.
bro. Everything's brown, everything's dried up, and I was like, I think I just made the biggest mistake of my life. And but I was like, I'm already here, there's no other option.
Yeah.
And at first, I would always be drunk because like
Oh,
it
okay.
was my way to deal with depression. Because like
Yeah.
I got depressed because like one, yes, I know how to speak. I knew how to
Mm.
speak Spanish, but I knew how to speak it like,
Machado. Uh-huh.
yeah, not tanto not muchado, but like not with like the slang terms that they
Okay.
use down here.
Yeah.
The culture was different,
Way
like
different.
way different, and I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't know who to hang out with. I didn't know how to relate with people down here. So and then those, I say 3 months because I came down supposedly 3 months ahead of time
Hmm.
to like get acclimatized
All right. To
and
get like a feel for it and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
before I went to college, right?
It's actually a good idea.
So and then I started going to college and I started meeting people and I started getting a job DJing and stuff like that. And I start getting involved into the culture here.
But
And I
college is pretty dope though. Like it's
yeah.
a really good way to like get to know people and.
So like me empapé.
Hmm.
I threw myself into the deep end. And now it's like people ask me like, "Do you want to go to the US?" And it's like, well, I started thinking like, because when I was in college, like I would say yeah,
Uh-huh.
but now it's like, and this started when I was in Aguascalientes because it's a bigger city.
Yeah.
There's more like U.S. stuff.
Mm.
It's like why do I don't really need to go to the U.S. Like I have everything here. Like there's McDonald's there, there's Burger King, there's malls. It's like everything was like real close to me,
Hmm.
and like compare that to living in a small town where they didn't even have internet. Like
Yeah, it's the
I
big
felt more
difference.
comfortable over here. And now, like, I have my family here. I have my wife, my kids. Like, I have everything I would want to have in the U.S. I have it here.
Mm.
So necessarily, the only thing that I miss from the U.S. is the people.
Yeah. I feel like also the memories.
Yeah, that.
It's nostalgic. It's
Well,
really nostalgic.
my thing, like right now with my daughter, is like, and my wife hears is like, oh, I'm gonna take her to this place to eat, cause like when I was her age, my mom would take me.
Hmm.
and like all those joints are in the U.S. for me.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this park or to this beach because we used to do that when we were little." And for me, it's like, yeah, cool. Like I can't do that.
Don't you want to like show off
Yeah,
all your childhood
like,
places?
hey, this is where I grew up. This is where I lived, and this is where we come hang out. And like, yeah, of course. And I know I'm gonna make it back up there sooner or later. We have a goal to get it done before 2024.
All right.
So
That's gonna be a lot of fun. That's gonna be a
yeah,
lot of fun for her because
and
like I feel like knowing like the place intimately, you can just like provide a really good
I
experience.
think it's better for like that she's gonna be a little bit older because that way she's gonna be able to comprehend what I'm telling her. Like right now, she just wants to play, and like everything to her is play.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be cool, man. Now, going back to you, bro, in like middle school, you got what else happened? Like you said, you had a lot of fun. Like
That was a lot of fun. School just became like secondary for me.
okay,
I was just like go and try to get like a good enough grade to pass, but it was pretty much just like where I started coming out of like my bubble and just really starting to socialize with a lot of people.
mm-hmm. And like, did you play any sports or anything like that?
Ah man, I've always played sports.
Yeah,
Like every sport you can imagine. I also competed in some state tournaments for like tennis, um, soccer, American football, everything, like
yeah.
everything,
So
literally
you're
everything.
pretty involved in extracurricular activities.
As long as it was sports.
Yeah,
But like the cool thing over there is like there's a lot of parks
yeah,
and like so there will always be people who want to play American football or people who want to play soccer and like you'll
yeah.
find people from like all over the community who
Mm-hmm.
do that. So
Oh yeah, I remember for us, like we would go play soccer at this park, and this one time it was like 20 kids. We were what? I was in maybe like ninth grade,
uh-huh.
10th at most, and these dudes, it was like 5 or 6 of them. They were grown ass dudes. They're like, "Hey, you guys want to play soccer with us?" And we're
Yeah.
like, "Aren't you a little too old to come hang out with us?" Like they were like,
Yeah.
at least, I mean, maximum 30.
hmm
But you don't see people that are 30 hanging out with like
Uh,
you
but
don't,
like
over there. You don't really see it.
no, but I feel it's more like it's a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it's a bunch of us. He's like, and it's cool. Don't matter. We're a
Uh,
little better than you. And like we played, and it was like them against us. And then we're like, oh no, no. You know what? Let's
like
divide it.
let's even it out. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And like then like they took down my number because I was the oldest one. They're like, hey, we hit us up when you guys want to go play soccer. You guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was because we made a relationship with them, and like
Yeah, it usually happens.
they not like a bad one, and then they wouldn't like offer us alcohol or anything like
Uh-huh.
that. But like then they would like worry about us, like how you guys doing in school, like stay in school, don't do drugs. Like it was pretty cool, and I try to do that sometimes with kids now that I'm older, you know. So and I think once, cause like for me, when I was in middle school in 6th grade, I almost broke my back playing football,
Oh shit.
so I couldn't play until I was in 10th grade. And like I'm not the soccer type, bro.
Okay.
I'm not the track type.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
so I didn't really do extracurricular sports. I what I did in middle school up until 11th grade was I did video editing and audio editing.
Dude, you got a head start.
So like
That's
that's
dope.
where I learned how to edit videos and cuz I couldn't do anything else. I would go
Yeah.
film those events cuz I liked them. And then I got the clearance from the doctor in 11th grade that I could play football, and I was gone. And I
Yeah,
was in the
bet,
football team.
bet.
So
Okay.
but and like my high school experience like went through the roof when I joined the football team.
Right?
Cause it's like it's the brotherhood, and it's like so many people that
Yeah.
like you weren't best friends with them, but like you hung out with them
Yeah.
every
And they
day.
invited you to parties and
Exactly.
you're just pretty much like the center of attention.
Yeah. So I think that helped. Did you go to high school?
Yeah, I went to high school.
Finished it?
Yeah.
How was? Did you like?
Um, Man, high school was weird. It was fun. Like
Like
I went to a really good high school. Like
yeah.
it was like it's not to brag, but it was like one of the best 100 public high schools.
Uh huh.
But like I was so used to like school being shitty, so I like it was weird for me. Like it was fun. I appreciated it a lot, but like I didn't take a full advantage of it.
mm.
Uh-huh.
See, for me, I don't know. I've never really been good at like school.
Yeah.
Like you can give me a test on something I know how to do, and I'm not gonna get an A on it.
Okay.
I'm just bad at that stuff.
All right.
But like if you ask me face, hey, do you know the oh yeah, you could do this and that and like why
Yeah.
aren't you getting an A on it? I don't know.
Um,
I freeze up. So my school, like we were really good at basketball.
okay.
Like our like really good, bro. Like our basketball team, they in senior year was it senior or junior year? I can't remember. They went to New York to a tournament where like the best high schools of the country went to
Uh-huh.
that tournament. I don't remember if they won it or not. They probably did, or if they didn't win it, they got second place. Like
Uh-huh.
that's how good they were. So like basketball games for us were
That was like top.
yeah, bro. Cause like
Like everybody, like the whole like town would go and everything.
yeah, like it
That's
was just that. Cause like my senior year, like they had won the state championship like 3 or 4 years consecutively.
oh snap. Uh-huh.
None of them except one of them made it to the NBA.
Uh-huh.
He had some. He didn't go crazy or anything like that, but he had a couple mental issues,
Mm.
and that didn't let him continue with his career. But like, there was this one kid. He was about 5'8",
Okay.
and he didn't go to college for basketball. He went to NDSU, North Dakota State University, the Bisons,
Uh-huh.
for football.
All right. So he made the transition.
Like he played football and he was good at it,
Uh-huh.
but he wanted he was really good at basketball too, but he couldn't play basketball because he was really short.
Yeah, 5'8".
Like
I mean, it happens, but it's just
maybe
really rare.
5'10", and I'm pushing it.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna play football," and I don't think he had a scholarship to play football either.
That's
And
expensive.
homeboy went, he won the national championship with them 2 years in a row, like junior and senior year, and he ended up in the NFL. He played for the
Oh
Texans,
shit.
and he was the longest time with the Jets.
Uh-huh.
But and it's really funny because it's like out of the whole basketball team, he was the least. He was the last person you think that would make it into a professional sport,
Uh-huh.
and he's the one who made it the furthest. So that was pretty cool, man.
That is dope. Like now that you mention it, like it's crazy. Like I really like keeping up with old friends from high school
Yeah,
because you kind of get to see what they're doing.
yeah, yeah.
And dude, it's crazy. Like people from my high school, like everybody's like I wouldn't say everybody, but like half of my friends, like you could tell they're millionaires.
Yeah,
And it was like people who grow up in kind like just a little bit better conditions than me. So it's
yeah.
you know, that's just dope.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. Like I've got a bunch of friends from high school still. I don't really talk to them on the daily
Uh-huh.
because it's just we're in different phases, right?
Yeah,
But
it
it's like
happens.
you see what they're doing. Like I remember my best friend. It was three of us. Um, because when I was growing up, I changed elementaries like 3 or 4 times,
Okay.
and one I met at the first elementary that I went to, and like he was the popular kid. I was a loser, but he would always talk to me.
All right.
He would always try to include me, right?
Social dynamics in elementary school are really
Yeah,
funny.
and and I was always thankful with him because of that. And there was this another friend that I met in the last elementary school that I went to that this one chick was picking on me, right?
Okay.
And like you know how Mexicans like, oh, you can't hit a girl, you can't say
Yeah.
nothing back there, and I was
Yeah.
just sitting there just taking it. And the homeboy he stood up for me,
Uh-huh.
and I told him like, bro, like my loyalty towards you is for the rest of my life.
Wait, I got a question. Did he like slap her
No,
or
no, he
he
just stood
just
up for like
Oh, okay.
verbally, like
Yeah.
told her to stop, and he
Okay.
didn't hit her. No, no,
All
no,
right.
no. And
Yeah.
his name's Ben Illies, and like homeboy went through like a lot of dark spaces during middle school and high school. Like
Okay.
depression was really bad for him. And I would always stick with him because of what he did for me. Is
Mm,
like he didn't know me, he stood up for him. I gotta have his back all the time.
for sure.
And luckily now he made it out of that, and homeboy's an audio engineer, and he was working with a really good company, and COVID hit and he lost his job, and I don't know exactly what he's doing right now, but homeboy's he was just in Taipei he was giving a conference.
Oh, snap. All right.
And
So,
he
yeah,
just
he
bought a
has to be
Porsche.
doing
So
good.
he's doing good. Like,
Yeah.
bro, Ben Illies, if you see this, you doing good, bro. So, and I'm proud of your ass too. And then the other friend from the first school, they knew each other because they lived like 3 blocks away, but they went to different elementaries. This friend, he struggled. He was like he had a lot of problems with his family, and he grew up with he like in high school he changed schools and he went to live with his grandparents and he had to work to maintain himself.
Oh snap.
He joined the military, and I remember when he joined the military, I moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he got out of boot camp, like we would talk all the time. He was in Iraq. So we would talk
Snap.
all the time, and he
Mm-hmm.
came back and he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna come down. We're gonna come down." You know, sometimes we plan things and life just doesn't let us do it, right? He never came down, and this past, I don't, it was June or July, and he passed away in a motorcycle accident.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And there's a lot of people from my high school that have passed away, and people that I knew and I talked to, but him passing away was,
Just a bit different.
yeah, bro. Like he was one of those people that I genuinely wanted to see again before that happened, and you know, it was hard. It was especially hard because I couldn't go.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him. I couldn't give him say my farewells to him, and I remember like people were uploading the live videos of the funeral system. It was just like I'm not one to bawl my eyes out, but
Uh-huh.
like I was shedding tears, bro. Like just and my was like, "What's wrong with you?" Like my friend passed away. And she's like, "Yeah, but that's happened a lot of times already." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, "I was like this one's different. Like this was
Yeah.
a real friend." So wherever he's at, Cindy, his name was Andrew Cinderman.
All right.
We called him Cindy. So wherever you're at, homie, much love out to you. So you went to high school. You finished high school, right?
Finished high school.
Did you get in any trouble in high school?
Probably.
I can't remember, but probably.
Yeah, probably.
So you say you never gang banged, right?
Not none of that. No, it's so strange because I found out like a lot of friends game banged, but I was just like so oblivious to it.
Yeah, and it's funny because for a lot of Hispanic kids, that's
That's like the only route pretty much.
exactly. There's no other way to say it,
Yeah.
and it's sad. Like I remember, I was in this group. It was called diversity group. It was
Hmm.
kids like white kids, black kids, me as a Mexican.
Uh-huh.
Minnesota had a lot of Somali people.
For real.
Has a lot of
Oh,
Somali
that's
people.
cool.
They
That's
have a
great.
lot of Hmong people too.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
In Milwaukee, there's a
Wisconsin
lot
and
of Hmong
yep,
people.
yep.
Yeah.
So and this one girl, she was she 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 was white. Yeah, well, white born in the U.S. Right?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I'm just really mad how you guys have to fight through your stereotypes, and it's like it's not cool. I'm like, girl, like I'm not mad.
Uh-huh.
I'm proud to fight those stereotypes. I want to prove them that I'm not like everybody else. We're not all the same. You know?
Yeah.
It was cool. I got to learn on different like a different culture,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like I don't think I ever let go of my Mexican culture.
I get it though. I think that's one of like the things about America, and it's just a whole different, like a whole topic on its own. But like how there's systemic segregation,
Yeah,
and like personally, I love Mexicans, I love blacks, but I almost always had like a preference just to like hang around more with white people at a later stage of my life. Um, just just they're just nicer people.
yeah, I would agree with you on
Yeah, it
that.
sounds bro, but like,
Cause like honestly, like senior year, I rarely hung out with Hispanic people.
yeah,
Like I don't know, it's just like I like more like oh let's go have a bonfire. I like to fish a lot, bro.
yeah.
And like Hispanic people over there don't
No, they
really
just
do that.
want to drink and drift
Yeah,
cars, which is dope, but
over here like the Hispanics, they were really wanted to work at a young age.
I get it. Yeah,
That's what they see their parents do it. That's what they want to do. That's normal.
yeah.
But it's like no, I want to go fishing. I want to go ride a four wheeler. I want to go mudding
And they're
and
like
like
more outdoorsy people,
yeah.
and that's a lot of fun.
And there was a lot of rednecks.
For real.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
we didn't have any of
well,
that.
not red. They weren't like rednecks, but they were like people in the suburbs
Yeah,
that were redneck that try to be rednecks.
yeah.
cause like a redneck's from like the south,
Yeah,
or you
but
know, but like
like that mentality
yeah, and like I would get along with them, bro.
for real.
Yeah, and like it would be funny because like there's this one friend, like he was my friend since middle school, like since seventh grade, and like we started clowning each other one day, and I was like, "You," and I
Uh-huh.
just started clowning him like hardcore, and he would call me dirty.
Uh-huh.
Where's my dirty at? Like, bro, like that. And like other Hispanic people would hear me, and like, why you let him talk to him? Oh, así me llevo yo con él.
Uh-huh.
And I would respond to him like, "Ves?" Or like, what do you call me? He walk right next to me, or he'd be like, we face each other, and like we grin because we know we're gonna say something bad to each other. I mean, he'd come in like, "You stink."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Yeah, I like beans. So what? Don't like barbecue beans or what?" And he'd laugh like, "Yeah, I'm a beaner too then." So it was strange, but like I would get along with them, you
That's
know.
dope. That's dope.
So
I always wanted this like a stereotypical kind of relationship where you just
hmm
like banter each other. Never
the
had any of that, but like that
it
sounds
was it
dope.
was cool because like at the end of the day, like if he knew that like if he needed something, he could, "Hey, bro, I need your help." Like he was on the football team too,
All
so
right.
that helped.
Yeah. No, because it's
Uh,
a huge like that's a very close-knit
the
community.
I remember on the football team, like bro, like black people, you know how they have to wear lotion all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like bro, when somebody didn't wear lotion, like the other black dudes would clown him to
Right.
death, man.
Ashy
Homeboy would be,
knees and
yeah, then I'd be
everything.
like, damn, make me want to make sure I was wearing lotion, man. So, but yeah, and what happened after high school, bro?
Started working like a good Mexican.
Where'd you start working?
Landscaping.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a very Mexican job.
yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
Did you work
Um,
with other Mexicans or?
it was yeah. So the bosses they were white, and
Uh
then
huh.
all the workers were Mexican. But like we all worked together.
Uh huh.
It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like it was just really like backbreaking work. Like we would just sometimes move like big ass boulders, and like we didn't have. It was like a kind of a poor kind of company. So they
Okay.
didn't have like all the machines, so we had to do everything like manually. Like it was so much fun because like I'd wake up really happy because it was a lot of fun. I'd go back home really tired, so I just go to sleep and just like do the process over and over. And like it
Yeah.
was really good for me. Like I needed that, and I got paid really well.
Yeah. I did roofing, bro.
Roofing's man in the sun. Well, it's the same thing pretty much. Yeah, it's heavy.
Oh, dude, it's heavy. I remember the first few times I went, like I would wear short sleeve shirts and
Yeah,
shorts,
nah,
bro. Like let the sun, like the sun didn't do nothing. Like it just
the sunburn.
no. Like the materials, like
Oh, okay.
they're made out of a lot of the
The
roof.
fiberglass.
Oh, dude, that fiberglass would tear me up, man. I stopped wearing that, man, and then and it was fun though. Like you said, like from it, cause it was like from sunrise to sunset,
Yeah, man.
Monday through
It
Sunday.
was hard work. Like you felt like really satisfied, like
At the end of the day,
fulfilled.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I would get home and I'd take a shower and like I would watch TV for 15 minutes and I would pass out, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and my friends would be like, "Dude, why aren't you hanging out with us anymore? Like you're just working all the time." I was like, "Well,
You don't even feel bad about it. Like,
no." It's like,
it's just
"Well,
so
I'm working,
fulfilling.
yeah."
Yeah.
And then so what happened? Like, how'd you end up here,
All
or
right.
how'd you
So,
decide to come down?
all right. So the truth is, I got deported.
Hey, man.
Um, and it was just like, I got used to being paid well, as a landscaper and everything, and then around came autumn, and apparently that's like a very slow season for landscaping.
Uh huh.
So they're like, all right, if you want, you can get a good job, but like we can hire you again, but until next year. So I was like, what am I gonna do for more money?
Mhm.
Like I didn't really need to like work, but like I wasn't studying, so I had to do something. So I was like, I'm just gonna sell drugs.
Damn.
Yeah, that was such a stupid decision. Oh man, and I just did it all wrong.
mm,
Like it was just like I thought it was gonna be easy as fuck.
yeah.
So I decided like my idea was like I don't want to sell weed or coke or anything strong, and like, but I need to sell something but I need to make sure there's no competition because I don't want to like be marked off or anything like
Yeah.
that. So I found out there's just like synthetic drugs that have the same effect.
Uh,
And there are. I'm not even gonna advocate them, but
Yeah, don't say them.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
don't give any ideas to
yeah,
people.
no,
But
but so bought some online, came from China, and it's fucking ridiculous how easy it is to like
yeah,
obtain drugs. And I'm talking about like kilos, huge fucking kilos. It's
damn.
so easy and so cheap to produce. And bought it, a few months later, got caught. Didn't even make any money on like it was just really bad attempt. And went to jail for a while, and
How long's a while?
15 months.
Damn. So you were in there for.
I got off really easy just because it was a synthetic drug.
Mm,
They just I got a felony with possession and intent to distribute a non-narcotic. So yeah, because they didn't know how to classify it,
mm,
so they just said non-narcotic, and I was like, all right. So they gave me a year,
mm-hmm.
and I already had 15 months in, so they're like, all right, time served, and I got out for a month. I thought I was gonna be deported right away. Man, that month I partied a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was just 15 years, like 15 months to just be like pent up, like just emotions and everything. It was just like one whole month of just partying, and then I got deported.
And then, but what was it like? Jail like, bro? Like.
Bro, it sucks, bro. Like I know people say it sucks. Like whoever's watching this, like this needs to be the biggest like um reality check for anybody. Like jail sucks, and that wasn't even prison.
It was
Like
just
prison's worse.
you were in county jail.
I was in county jail fighting my case.
So what's the difference?
Prison is just like pretty much you're convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you have like an aggressive crime or something like that, or a very like heinous crime,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go to like a really bad prison,
Mm,
and there it's just like you're gonna have to gang up.
mm-hmm.
You're gonna be in a gang, or you're gonna be isolated forever. And I did not want that, man, because like I like
Yeah.
one of my biggest worries was like I'm in jail, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get out any second, any day. I was fighting the case, and my biggest worry was like, man, if someone pushes me to my limit or I'm gonna have to fight, like that's another 6 months. And,
Damn.
like every time you fight, that's another charge.
Damn.
Yeah, and people don't give a there. They don't give a like people go to jail on purpose just to get
Yeah.
more street cred. I'm like, bro, why is
Mm.
this so stressful?
Like I want to get out of here. Like I don't care about this
Bro,
anymore.
it was stressful. Like I cried. Like I would hide under my covers and cry sometimes. Like to make sure nobody was looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's stressful. Like,
So,
'cause,
but was it like? Have you seen that show called 90 Days Locked Up or something like that?
yeah,
What?
pretty much.
What that was in
That's
the
county
environment.
jail.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. I think most of it was in county jail.
Uh huh.
Um, yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah, people suck there.
That's still like you're still locked up, bro. Like, and did like you had your bunk bed and were you in like in a cell or were you like in the
Um,
show or?
it depends. I was in minimum security, and there was a big old room, and there was like 15 bunk beds
Mm-hmm.
or 16, and there was like 32 people there.
Yeah.
That was the worst. That was the worst because like it was just a lot too much liberty, and everybody just kind of did where they wanted and just like
Mm.
really pushed their buttons.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't get any fights in there.
Yeah, and then I got sent up to medium, and I was so afraid of going into like medium security, but
Yeah.
it was dope. Like you get 1 hour of like recess, to go into like the common area to,
Uh huh.
but what was really cool about it was like you have more privacy.
Mm.
There's not that much noise. You only have your one celly to like worry about,
Mm-hmm.
and usually like link up and you play cards all day or talk, and it was a lot better.
Okay.
But man, yeah, man, jail sucks.
And how is the food really that bad?
We make the most of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It's just like I think those entire 15 months they've only given us vegetables like 2 times.
Damn.
Yeah, like it was eating like maruchan like every single day, every single day. Like you had to compliment it because it's just not enough.
Yeah.
So they'd have vending machines and you could like buy maruchans and like we mix it up with the food and we like put like packets of nacho cheese on it and
Uh huh.
we just make up food and we make cake and everything. It is like
Hey, you got to do what you got to do
yeah,
to
people are
survive.
creative in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
I've seen a lot of YouTube videos and now recently TikTok. There's
Yeah.
is it busting? Is it busting or is it or was it busting or busting?
Uh-huh.
And the homeboy like I think he started out making videos in jail.
I don't know how they did that, man. It's so
Yeah, I
difficult
don't.
to get
Yeah,
a cell phone in there.
and he got out of jail and continued making videos. but he would make like the jailhouse burritos and
Yeah.
like the pizzas
Oh,
and
that's
all
real,
that, and
man.
it's like,
That's real.
yeah, yeah. And then there's this other guy in my town where he's like, yeah, we used to make tamales out of Doritos,
Oh, that's true.
and I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
it's harsh in there, man.
Yeah.
Now, hold on, imagine people who do like 20, 30 years.
They don't give
That nah, they get
a
to
nah,
that point where they
bro.
don't care anymore, huh?
They don't. Like I wouldn't either.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's a sad. It's just like it's a whole topic on its own as well. But
Yeah.
it's just like the whole penal system in America is fucked up. I know that since a lot of like jails and prisons are like state are privately owned.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon for certain prisons to sue the city because there's not enough inmates.
Damn.
And so like it's like, bro, wouldn't you want less inmates because you want less crime?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But I mean, if you look at it from a business standpoint,
Yeah, man, it's like eighty
yeah.
dollars a day per person.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much
It's
they
like
get.
30K a year per,
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah,
It's a
per
lot.
inmate. Yeah,
So
I've heard those theories too. So
it's not even a theory. It's like it's just the economics of
yeah,
it. It's true.
so it's
Um,
it's harsh, man.
yeah.
And good thing you got out, bro. And so you got out, you partied a month, and what happened? How'd you get caught by La Migra?
That was so much fun actually. Well, it wasn't fun at all, but it was funny. So I have I was on parole. I had my parole officer like snitch on me. Like, "Dawg, this
Mm,
um undocumented and illegal. We're gonna deport him." So ICE comes to my house. They're like, are you Oscar Chavadin?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, we're gonna have to deport you." I'm like, since I speak English so fluently and like I kind of have like a white kind of look to me.
accent. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm white. Like, I was born here." And they're like, "What?" And they're looking at their papers. And I'm like, "Nah, I'm with you. Let's go." So they were so confused.
Dude, I bet they were,
They were,
man.
they were cool enough to let me get a few stuff.
Uh huh.
They're like, "All right." So I got my cell phone and everything. And so I came back to Mexico with like enough money to like live off of for a while. I came with my uncles to live
Hmm.
here.
So like, how long from the day that immigration got you to the day you touched Mexican ground? How many days
Oh,
went by?
dude, that's okay. No, man, it sucks because it's such a, after being locked up so long, they're like, "Do you want to fight the case?" I'm like, "No, just come on, take me to Mexico, just drive me. I don't care,
You
dump
didn't want
me."
to be in jail
Bro,
anymore.
I didn't. I was
Yeah.
so sick of it. I was like, "Do it again." And there was so they drive you from jail to jail to jail to jail.
Oh.
Sometimes they'll don't take you on a plane, depends like where you're
Mhm.
going. And I think I went to like 5 different centers before I ended up in Mexico City.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, but it's different because it's just Mexicans being deported, and so
Yeah.
there's no more like gaming, and there's no more like intimidation and anything like that.
Mhm.
So it's like more worry free, but it's just like you get a bit anxious because you just want to leave to Mexico.
Mm. Okay. That makes sense. But still, damn. That like, I thought it was like they grab you and they put you on a plane and you're coming to
It
Mexico.
should,
But
but I guess it has a whole
and see
process.
the thing is that if you would have fought it, you probably would have won it. And you
Yeah,
probably would have got your papers out of it too.
bro, like by not being able to fight, like my condition is I'm not allowed to return ever.
Fine.
Like I could theoretically fight the case,
Uh huh.
but like I feel it's gonna be like $1 million case
Yeah.
because only way I could go back is there's a visa for like investors. You have to invest like $1 million in create a certain amount of jobs, and
Mm.
I feel like that's the only way I'll be able to go back,
Okay.
which I'll probably do it later.
That's good,
Yeah,
man. I mean, that you have that mentality and you have that goal.
yeah,
That's good, man. Now, cause like I have a friend who got deported,
uh-huh,
and like he was on parole, and he told his parole officer, he's like, "Hey, we want to go to Mexico on vacation. Can I go?"
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, go for it."
Send him
I'm
off, bro.
sorry, Mo. I'm
He
not. I'm
just
not.
he just sent him off. That is so
That's
bogus,
what he said. So he comes down, and on the way back in, they're like, "Wait, you're on parole. You can't be going out of the country."
bruh.
They locked him up, bro, and I
Yeah,
I don't. I think he spent like another year or something in.
that's so messed up,
And like the
man.
only way he can get back in there, because his daughter's back there, is
Bruh.
if he can prove his daughter's going through hardship for not having him there, or if the president pardons him.
Oh.
So like he's fighting the case, bro. Like
Yeah.
he wants to be with his daughter, and I understand him.
Yeah.
And homeboys, I mean, he's probably one of my best friends down here. Just we click so well, and like I got to know his story and stuff.
Hmm.
It's crazy, man. Like stuff that deportees have to go. Luckily, I wasn't deported, bro. I moved. I was
Yeah.
voluntary.
That's good. That's dope.
So, but still, man, it's something that people don't understand. Like, no matter how involved you are in the Hispanic community, you're never gonna understand that.
Yeah. That is something very like culturally Mexican, like Mexican over there,
Yeah.
like being an illegal. It's
And
just
like it's funny because like, oh, we don't want illegals here. It's like, bro, if you knew how many illegals were there, like
yeah.
you would yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many over there.
Yeah, there really is. I don't know, man. It's just weird because like I'm Mexican, but like at the end of the day, I feel really American. It's like,
I know exactly what you're talking
bro,
about.
it's like, dude, I pledge the allegiance to the flag every single day.
For 12
Bro,
years.
they literally dead ass played and gave us little cartons of milk with a pizza for lunch, and it's
And
just,
your box of juice,
bro,
yeah.
like I understand, like my culture is like American, like any Mexican culture that I have now, like I had to develop being here.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah,
Same here, 100%. Like you said, I said the Pledge of Allegiance, like, and I put my hand over my heart for it,
yeah,
and
like
it's
you
like,
believe it, like
yeah, and it's like you grew, but deep down, you know that you're not.
yeah,
Like for me, it was like
it's-
deep down, I know I'm not, because
yeah,
like if something happens, I could get kicked out,
yeah.
and like
It
I could,
sucks, doesn't it? Because like
yeah,
you feel like so much love towards a certain nation, and it's like you're not enough.
yeah,
I get it, man. It sucks.
the dude, like I think that was part of my depression when I first moved down here, but
Yeah,
like now I mean, I came to terms with it. I'm
yeah,
Mexican. I gotta live here, and
yeah.
this is the card that life dealt me, and I gotta make the best out of it. So
But college helps.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
man, it
does
has,
help.
and it's a lot of fun.
So you came down here and you went to live with your uncles.
Yeah,
Where?
I'm here in Tepic. I've
In
been here
Tepic.
since I've gotten here. Yeah.
Okay. And you haven't gone to your mom's town.
Uh, I wouldn't want to live there.
And that's a big town compared to other places.
Wait, Villa Juarez?
Yeah.
Bro, get the hell out of here. There's like 10 houses.
No.
Okay, there's more, but
Well,
like it's
no.
just
Villa
really small.
Juarez, like. Mm, 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 mm.
There's like Santiago, then there's like three pueblos more, and then
And
there's
Villa
Santiago.
Juarez is like right before the curve to go to the beach, right?
Bloody hell, I know there's a beach close enough, but
Yeah.
I don't
No.
I don't know it that well.
I know. Yeah, I know what Villa Juarez. I'm confusing it with Villa Hidalgo.
Yeah, Villadargo's pretty big.
No, but
Well,
Villa Juarez. Yeah, I know. I know. It's you're on the edge of the river.
pretty much, yeah.
I have family there.
For real.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have.
snap.
I mean, I don't really. They're not like, hey, what's up? Or,
Me neither, but
bro, I didn't even know they existed until about 2 years ago.
oh, snap.
So
Small world.
yeah, real
Yeah.
small world. So yeah, I wouldn't want that. Like Villa Juarez is like my town too. So
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, I imagine there's internet there now, but
Yeah.
like before, we're talking about 6 years ago in my town, you didn't have internet.
For real?
You like you had internet, but it was really
Oh.
slow.
And then they had like cable. No, they had Dish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because cable they still have Dish because cable. Well,
Yeah.
for me they still have Dish because cable
It
doesn't
doesn't reach
provide
over there,
service
yeah.
there. So, but I mean, for me it's different. Like I wouldn't want to live there,
Yeah.
but I do like going there to hang out
Okay. For real?
because I have friends there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because like
Yeah.
when I was in college, like I would go to college from Mutton. Because here it's not like you stay at the dorm room.
Mm-hmm.
You go to college and you go back home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or wherever you stay at. Like for me, it was Monday through Friday. I would stay here. I would rent a place,
Mm-hmm.
and Friday as soon as class was over, I was on the bus back to my town, bro.
Yeah, a lot of
So
foráneos are like that,
yeah,
yeah.
so I mean, I still have a lot of friends there that I like to go back and visit. Um, since my town's on the river too,
Mm-hmm.
or not on the river, but we're like 10-minute drive. For me, that fishing, that's life, bro.
All right.
So that's why I
It's
like
fun.
going back there,
I
and
could tell by the
well, the
the
fishing. This
bass
is
pro and all that, yeah.
yeah. So um, but it is cool. And then what'd you do here? Like, what'd you do for work when you started coming here? Because I
All
mean,
right. When I got here, I was an English teacher at the university.
which one?
La One,
Okay.
Nayarit's autonomous
Yeah.
state university. I was there for a year. I wanted to study, but I got there literally like 2 weeks too late, so I
Mhm.
had to wait for the next cycle,
Uh
the
huh.
academic cycle.
Yeah.
And so then I got into biology. I was majoring in biology,
Mm.
and I was there for like 3.5 years, and I didn't like it. I just left.
Damn.
Yeah.
You should have stuck through it, bro. You almost
No,
done with it.
no, that. It just wasn't me. Like
Yeah.
like,
You don't seem like a biologist, bro.
bro. I'm like a huge advocate for for, like sustainability and all that.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't something that it's just I don't want to be bogus or anything, but like the educational system is really different here.
That's what I
Um,
was gonna say. Or do you think it was the way they were teaching it to you?
oh, dude, totally. Like
Yeah.
there were just like some really good teachers. Like, bro,
Mhm.
I love you forever. But
Mhm.
like the majority is, it's
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's just they give a quality education. Like it's enough to compete, internationally.
Mhm.
But there's just like some element of it to it that just didn't really convince me.
Mm.
Um,
See, for me, like, I don't know, like, that's why I'm a logistics engineer,
uh-huh.
and I picked that career because there wasn't really that much math in it,
Okay.
and the math that's in it is applied math.
Okay.
So it's like real life problems,
Yeah.
that's easy for me. But I get what you're saying, and like especially me, or in my case, like I'll be watching, like I would be listening to the teacher, and I'd be like, oh, did she say it in Spanish or in English? Like that's,
Yeah.
and I think that at the beginning, my spelling and my grammar was trash, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember on the last project that we handed in, the teacher's like, I'm gonna hand out from lowest to highest,
Uh-huh.
and she's, like, I was in the UT,
Okay.
uh,
That's a pretty
Technological University
yeah,
of Nayarit.
they're
And
pretty exigentes.
yeah, so that's 8 and up, right? That would
Yeah.
be like a C and up. Like you had to get a C minus to pass. The D plus didn't
Yeah.
pass anymore. So she was like, Ocho, fulano tal got a 7.6, 7.8, 7.9, and that was my that was my average. So like from 7.9 to like 8.9.
Uh-huh. It's
And
pretty
like,
good actually.
I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah, it's like top average.
Yeah. And she went through those, right? And she got into the like 9.5s. I was like, "Shit, like, did I do that bad that she doesn't want to tell me in front of people?" And then
Yeah.
last project in her hand, she's like, "This project, this person really surprised me because I remember him when he first started, like the quality of work that he did,
Yeah.
and the quality of work that he's doing now, like it's a complete 180-degree change."
Mm.
And I saved him to the end to congratulate him, and she said my name, and everybody started laughing because I didn't believe it. I was like, "Nah, you're
Uh-huh.
playing." She's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
and you got a 10 on it."
that's dope.
So that was, I think that's what motivated me. And then after I got done with college, I was DJing, right?
Hmm.
And I got a little side gig as an English teacher at an elementary.
Yeah.
Dude, I hated that.
Right?
Dude, I hated that with like not with a passion, but it's just like this is not for me.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had a friend in Aguascalientes who was like, "Bro, come out here, come out here, come out here, come out here. There's a lot of work." Convinced me. I worked over there, started into the purchasing department,
Okay.
and everything was in Spanish. So I had to learn how to speak Spanish good.
Yeah.
So that's what motivated me to like get up to the Spanish level where I'm at right now. And now I'm working at an English company where I don't talk Spanish at all day long. So
So weird, right?
yeah. So for you were a teacher.
Yeah.
You went into biology. Then what happened?
Um, midlife crisis. No, seriously.
Bro, like you're
I've
like 30 at most, right?
I'm 27.
That's a
But
so that's not a midlife crisis.
I don't know. Everybody says midlife crisis like at 40 or something like that, but like everybody lives like 60, 65. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
technically, yeah. Well, it's more like an existential crisis. I just always felt like the traditional pathways, they weren't always. I never felt they were available to me, being illegal and everything. I
Uh
was
huh.
like, why am I gonna be like studying in college if I'm not gonna be able to work as an illegal? And
Mhm.
that was always my mentality. So like, I didn't really care about it. And like now I got to this point where like I could study college, and I was like, fuck, like I wasted my whole life. That's how I felt. So like I was
Mhm.
like kind of like going through odd jobs. Like I would even trade on the stock market and everything. Like I tried a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, bruh, like just getting real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, I honestly thought it was a little bit I was really proud, like it's just to a fault. Like it was actually a really shitty part of my personality. And I was like, dude, being having a little food um business or something like that is just like way below me. But like I
Mhm.
was like, I know how to do this. So I started selling hamburgers. And like
Mm.
in my mind, I was like, dude, this isn't anything to be proud of. Like,
Like a hamburger shop.
yeah, it was a little cart, and I ended up like having to rent a house to like, and I decked out like the garage, and
Mhm.
we had the cart in there, and we
Yeah.
started selling from there.
Okay.
And it got really cool because like I guess like through a whole bunch of hardship and everything, like like it really humbled me a lot.
Mm.
And more than anything, all my workers, like I love all of them. They were like the biggest like support for me.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, I hate responsibility, but like since they were like their well-being was my responsibility, like I took
Mm.
that really seriously, and I was like, all right, cool, and this is pretty dope.
Uh huh.
And I stuck with it for like 2 years now.
And was it always called that?
Milwaukee
Yeah.
Burgers, yeah, since the very beginning.
Okay.
It's a really bad choice. Nobody
Yeah.
knows how to
Nobody can.
spell it.
Nobody. Let alone spell. No one knows how to pronounce it,
Yeah,
bro.
honestly, like I feel like we probably lost clients because they don't know how
How
to
to.
like Google it or check it up on Facebook. Such bad marketing.
When, because I went to your restaurant because
Uh-huh.
someone invited me to film a video, a food
Yeah.
video, and I was like, okay, cool. And I saw Milwaukee Burgers. I'm gonna ask why
Yeah.
that name, right? But I heard you speak Spanish. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it was a pocho. Homeboy was
Yeah,
over
for
there. I
real.
was like, why Milwaukee? Oh, I grew up in Milwaukee. I was like, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's unique, man. It sticks out.
Yeah. It's cool because you know, having a business teaches you a lot of
Hmm.
things, administration, management, uh, economics, marketing. You pretty much have to do everything in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah, 100%, bro.
So like it's like I really didn't need to go to school for this. Like,
Yeah.
like this is real life experience, and
Mm.
I appreciate that.
Cause I mean, yeah, you can go to school for it, but like, there's nothing like real life experience, bro.
Yeah.
100%. Like, no.
Honestly,
Cause like if you ask me like, what percentage of the stuff you saw in school you used working
the hypotenuse, bro, I use that every single
every
day.
single day?
Every
Yeah.
fucking day.
Bro, maybe 10% of what I saw in college I use on a daily at work. If, if then that's pushing it.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, yeah. And then you're still sticking with that right now, or
We franchised it. It's a
oh,
franchise now, so technically, I'm the owner like of the brand and the recipes. So, but I
oh,
don't work it
that's
anymore.
okay.
Yeah, and it's so the way to go. Like so much free time now.
Oh, for sure, and you're
Uh,
still making money off of it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's totally the way to go.
You gotta open up another one now, man.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Guadalajara and stuff like that, man.
it's a big investment.
Yeah,
So
but here's the thing: like, if it did good here in Tepic, we're a small city.
yeah.
Imagine what it could do in like a Guadalajara
Oh no,
or a
yeah.
Mazatlan. Like,
There's still things that I want to optimize.
mm,
It's I feel like it's still a project.
yeah,
I still want to work on certain things before I expand.
hmm,
Like brand identity and a whole bunch of other things. It's
yeah.
just like and it's just so much easier when you have money.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
100%, man.
You can like one of the problems was like, since I didn't really have that much money, is
Hmm.
like I didn't have the luxury of like fucking up.
Uh huh.
So, oh, okay. Um, damn, it's got louder.
No, that's cool. I turn it down.
All right. Um, So, but like it sucks because trial and error is the best, like way to learn, but like I don't have that luxury. So
Yeah.
like it's a lot of like investigating, like it's thank God that YouTube exists because there's so many cool channels like
Mhm.
Business Insider, Wall Street Journal. They make like reports on like the big chains and
Yeah.
like what's the economics of McDonald's, what's the economics of In-N-Out Burger.
Mhm.
Like everything is like detailed to a crisp, and it's like I can steal ideas from them and kind of like twist them and make them my own for like Milwaukee burgers.
Yeah. 100%,
Yeah,
bro.
so it's a lot of trial and error. We're still like in that stage of like we're trying to grow it,
Mhm.
but I'm not in any rush. I'm trying to like put different right now. Like my main goal is learning everything. Like our one of the things that I don't like about my business model for Milwaukee Burgers is just like really labor intensive. It just
Mm.
costs a lot.
Yeah.
It's just really like you get a really gourmet product. Like
Mhm.
I feel like you could like our burgers compete with like burgers in the United States, which
Yeah.
is saying
Oh,
something.
100%, bro.
Yeah, like
100%.
yeah. But it's una chinga. Like
Yeah.
it's just really difficult. So like right now, like the most important thing for me is finding a business that's like low investment, labor wise, money wise, and everything. And I think I have a few ideas for that. So like
Mhm.
we're gonna try that
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, the least amount more you got to work smart, not harder.
Yeah, exactly.
So 100% agree with you on that, bro. Damn, man. So it's been a trip for you.
Yeah, life's
And
tiring.
you know, I mean, looks can be deceiving, man. Cause like you would never imagine um that you were in jail or none of that. Like I mean,
Oh, thank God.
you
Yeah.
look, you don't look. I mean, you don't look like the stereotypical Mexican deportee that was in jail. You know,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool meeting other people who speak English. It's good to talk to English to other people. That's not about my job, and I love my coworkers because I know they're gonna be serious. But like, it's cool talking just normal stuff.
Yeah, it's
You
cool.
know,
You
so
kind of realize that you kind of lose your ability to talk English. Like
yeah,
it's a skill you have to
a
start
hundred
keep
percent.
practicing.
And let alone like somebody that understands what you went through as a kid,
Yeah, that's
like who
refreshing.
understands your culture.
Yeah,
Because not a lot of people, even like people who grew up in the states but were with the Hispanics, their culture
it's still
is different.
yeah,
Because, like I said, we're Mexicans that grew up in the U.S., but we grew up with white people
yeah,
or surrounded by white people,
yeah,
you know? So, and like to this day, like some of my best friends are white people.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, oh, el gringo, I said, nah, dude, they're good friends. I mean,
Uh-huh.
they've been good friends to me and they will be for the rest of my life. So, bro, when I end the podcast or the whole idea of this was to give people positive uh, feedback
Uh-huh.
or
A
a
positive
positive
experience.
message.
Okay.
You know, you've gone through everything, how you grew up, how you told us about it, how you were in jail, how you got deported,
Yeah.
how you started selling burgers out of a little cart and you're like, this is not for me, and you ended up with your restaurant.
Yeah.
You franchised it.
Yeah.
That's badass, bro. Like, and that's the type of content I want to put out so other
Okay.
kids, for other people, I mean, younger people than us,
Yeah.
know that there's another option.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just how we used to think. Like, why do I need to go to? Why do I need to do good in school if I'm not gonna be able to work legally? Like
Yeah.
maybe somebody in the U.S. in our situation sees this and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go down to Mexico. So if you could give them a consejo,
Yeah. Some advice.
some advice that maybe it was given to you
Uh-huh.
and you're like, nah, screw it, I don't need it. That's not true. Or
Um,
advice that you wish you knew back then.
um, all right. It's a little long, or I could condense it. So I think technology is so great because, like school never really worked for me,
Yeah.
for many reasons. But like if you go on YouTube, there's just so many channels that give out so much information.
Mhm.
There's one particular channel, it's called the Huberman Podcast, Huberman channel. I think it's Jack Huberman, and this guy's like neuroscientist,
Mm.
and he tries to give like information that's useful, like,
Mm.
and for like athletes, for entrepreneurs, and all that. One of the biggest things that stuck with me is like about neuroplasticity, how to build habits, and like what differentiates successful people from mediocre people.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty much just like there's like this big old meme with Shia LaBeouf where like you just do
Mhm.
it. And he really broke that down. It's like, why is it important to just do it? And it's so crazy because like Navy SEALs, the highest earning people, they the way they think is like whenever they don't want to do something, that's when they act.
Mm.
And so I think most of the time, procrastination, it sucks.
Yeah,
It
it's a
sucks.
son of a gun.
It can be crippling, but like sometimes you just have to act.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna fuck up, but like you have to act. There's
Mm.
there's no results if you don't take action,
Yeah.
and that's it. But like they really should follow that podcast. Like it breaks down everything on scientific terms and like easily digestible.
Mhm. So we're gonna end this podcast with his advice of don't it's kind of don't be afraid and
And
just move, just
just
do it.
act. Uh-huh.
Literally, just do it and go with the flow and go with the punches. Sometimes things might not be perfect, but you'll learn from it
Yeah.
and
So,
make them perfect for tomorrow. So we're gonna end it with that. Thank you for watching us, and this is the first episode. Hopefully, Oscar has some more time and we can do some more just hangouts, and it'd be pretty cool. So
yeah, I'm
thanks,
done.
man. Appreciate you for coming, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for inviting me.